What's up everybody, Mike here, and in this Elden Ring build video, I want to be showcasing my Sorcerer Sentinel build here. I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I want to show you gameplay first, how to use this build in action, and let me know in the comments below if you prefer this before I go into, the equipment, the talismans, the attributes, why I got them at. This is a level 150 build as usual that I like to do. But yeah, I want to try things up a little bit differently, and like I said, if this is something you prefer me to do going forward as a format, let me know in the comments, and hopefully this video will be helpful to you. Leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and all that good stuff. So first off, I want to showcase this build against regular enemies, and then we'll take on that mini boss there, a world boss. Not a mini boss, but it's a world boss, and then maybe showcase against another minor boss. But yeah, so gonna go in here, jump attack, just wreck with this. So you see, these guys don't stand a chance. Regular attack will work just fine there. Now let's go ahead and try this against him. Now I do have... Darn it. Game, thank you. I do have a seal I use on me. I'm going to use Flame Grant Me Strength. I'm going to use the weapon skill here, the Ash of War, for quite a bit of this to kind of help us out, because this boss is pretty mobile on a horse. I missed. I got hit. It's all right. I missed. Hold on. And you see the, startup time for this Ash of War is not too bad. It's fairly fast. There we go. Jump attack again. Got hit. Hold on. Let me not die. I was being careless, though. Can't afford to be careless. Alright. Now, this Ash War can be a little bit finicky, even though you are locked onto an enemy. It may not always target the enemy you're locked onto, just so you know. Drop him down. Whack! And he's dead. Hell yeah. Now let's try against, another enemy. This is actually a mini boss in a sense. This doesn't necessarily have like a boss health bar like the previous encounter. This enemy will fly in. Where you at? There you are. That's cute. Already we're doing a lot of damage. It's half health already gone. Oh, did I freaking... Oh. Missed. Come here. Still regular attacks. Aw, he moved. Bam, baby. Rocked him. So you can see this is a very, very strong build overall. Strong weapon when it's upgraded to its max, especially. And the gear helps out a ton here, so I'm going to go into that here next. Alright, so the weapon I'm using is the Watchdog Staff. This is completely maxed out. Plus 10, as you can see there, is a colossal weapon. The Ash of War here is Sorcery of the Crozier. That's what you were seeing there. I probably mispronounced that last part. I apologize. But basically, it's an Ash of War ability that, sends out magical damage, as you saw there, to attack enemies. Now, mind you, even though you're locked on, and it was fairly accurate to enemies I was locked onto, it may not always be hit the exact body part you want. Just be aware of that on an enemy, or it may hit a different enemy altogether. It may just focus on the chest. which is fine. As long as it still does damage to the enemy or the boss, you're good to go. But yeah, very cool weapon overall. I wanted to figure out a build around this weapon, so this is what I came up with. And then I got Frenzied Flame Sail put in here because it weighs nothing. It helps with the weight of this build too, because you're not trying to, fat roll by any means. And this is already a beefy weapon in terms of its weight. There, as you see, 19. And then the armor too is going to add to that weight and other things here too. Mind you, I don't use the flask here at all. Like, you can do whatever you want with this. Like, I had a comment before asking about what I use in the flask. I don't use flask builds. This is here because I usually keep it here anyway. But I mainly focus on like the weapons, armor, and the talismans. So just so you guys are in the know and aware of what I usually do with these type of builds. But yeah, very cool as you saw there. Like I said, Frenzied Flame Sail. I could use something else, but it weighs nothing. And we're only using this for the 2 spells, Flank, Grant Restraint. And then the other one here, that should also buff up your damage. We go into it. The Golden Vow. So this will help increase attack and defense for self and allies, and this will help raise physical and fire affinity attack power. As far as the armor goes, I got the Omens Merc mask here. Reason being, oh, wait a minute, sorry. It increases your strength. So it's just more worth it than your dexterity for this build. The great thing about this is the weapon itself scales off strength more than dexterity. It scales off strength most of all, so that's where you're going to benefit more from utilizing this weapon and the damage output. And then next up for the chest piece, I got Raptor's Black Feathers. You don't necessarily have to have this, but I've found it very good because it's going to help strengthen your jump attacks. You're mostly going to be doing jump attacks anyway, as you saw there, as I did. You'll use your regular R1 attacks too if you're playing on some PlayStation. But yeah, jump attacks is going to be where it's at with this build, along with the Ash of War skill. And these last 2 pieces are can be whatever, as long as you're not fat rolling basically, and it gives you a decent amount of protection. For the talismans here, I got Carrion Filigree Crest. This lowers FP consumed by skills, so that way you can pop off your skills more consistently as far as your Ash of War. Then Magic Scorpion Charm raises magic attack but lowers damage negation, so that's going to help out too, which your output of damage to with the weapon, and just buffing yourself with the 2 incarnations. Then I have Ancestral Spirit's Horn, restores FP upon defeating enemies. This is going to help you restore your FP, the blue meter, even more when you're killing enemies, so that way you can use your Ash of War skill even more consistently. And lastly, I put on Claw Talisman. It's going to enhance jump attacks even more, so you're doing even way more damage against bosses, against enemies across the board, because you want to do as much damage as possible, wreck these enemies. And this is just, another way you can do that, especially pertaining to this build. Now, let's move on to the attributes here. As I mentioned before, this is a level 150 build. I have Vigor at 45, so you have a good size of a health pool there, survivability, things like that, keep your life longer. Most of the time, I do keep this at 50, but for this build, I went with 45. Mine is at 23. That gives you enough FP bar there, so you can keep pulling off your Ash of War skill with your Colossal Weapon here. And we got talismans that's going to help, restore the FP, mitigate that too. It's like that, and make it even more better for you. Now, if you depend on your starting class, you might be able to get away with a little bit more in mind. If you want to pump 1 more point into it or 2 more, up to you. Endurance, I decided to put at 20. You could lower this to 19 or a little lower if the armor, 2 other pieces of armor you're wearing, don't weigh that much, but still, are what you want in terms of protection. Up to you. I decided to get it to 20 though, because I like, have that decent amount of endurance there, so I can pull off more attacks by having that stamina bar where I need it to be. Strength is at 57 altogether. This is beefed up by the headpiece. So initially you're going to get this actually to 55, and then the headpiece will bump it up a little bit by 2, which gets it to 57. Dexterity is at 44, and that's going to help you with your damage output too, but you also want to put more points into strength. But yeah, this is essentially a quality build where you're using your strength and dexterity attributes the most for the weapon to dish out the damage, things like that. Intelligence, you're going to leave that alone at its base of 9. Faith, I put 25 into Faith for the incantations, use of them, and just to help them buff you a bit more, just a decent use of using both of them. So, like I said, that's all you really need it for. If you can get away with maybe bumping more into strength a bit more, you can. Just remember that the soft cap, I think, is around like 50 in for strength as well as dexterity. So like you'll get some great, you know, values out of it up to 50, but then past 50, I think goes like to 3 to 4 per level and starts to dip off even more at 60. Arcane is at 8, left out alone. This is not using any type of arcane whatsoever here. So there you have the build, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this. Was this helpful to you? I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you try it out. You know, I know Shot Earth is coming out soon. This will be a nice build to try out for yourself if you're into like those beefy, you know, you big weapon type builds and this unga bunga type style builds. So, and is this a preferred format you would like me to do going forward? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, drop a like, subscribe if you're new. My name's Mike. Thanks for watching.